Hello, welcome to the Poetry Foundation's special Halloween reading for young people featuring Carson Ellis. My name is Catherine and I am the library director here at the Poetry Foundation. My pronouns are she, her. I am a white woman with curly, dark hair. I am standing in front of a row of books and I am wearing a headband with a skull, leaves, and branches because it's Halloween today. I'm also wearing a red shirt. I am so excited to be here with you all today for this special reading.
Hello, my name is Alex and I am the events coordinator at the Poetry Foundation. I use he, him pronouns. I am a white cisgender man with blonde hair. Today I'm wearing a black and white shirt that has little stars and moons on it, and I'm sitting against a wall that has a piece of art that's made out of metal and fuzzy fiber material. We recognize that the Poetry Foundation building is situated on the occupied original homelands of the Council of the Three Fires, the Ojibwe, Potawatomi, and Odawa nations. Indigenous people continue to live here today, and Chicago is home to one of the largest urban Indigenous communities in the United States.
Hi, my name is Noah, and I'm the events assistant at the Poetry Foundation. I am a white, trans, non-binary person who uses they, them pronouns. Today, I am dressed in a pink sweater, I'm wearing a dangling blue earring, and I have wavy blonde hair. In the background behind me, there is a red curtain with a lot of eyes on it. Finally, this is a relaxed virtual space. That means feel free to do whatever you need for your body and mind to be more comfortable. Take a second now to make yourself 10% more comfortable. And now, I'd like to bring our library director, Catherine, back to introduce our reader.
Carson Ellis is the author and illustrator of Home, In the Half Room, Do Is Talk, a Caldecott Honor book, and recipient of the E.B. White Read Aloud Award. She has illustrated a number of books for kids, including The Mysterious Benedict Society by Trenton Lee Stewart, The Composer is Dead by Lemony Snicket, and The Wildwood Chronicles with her husband, Colin Malloy. Carson has been awarded silver medals by the Society of Illustrators for her work on Wildwood Imperium and on Dillweed's Revenge by Florence Perry Hyde. She's the illustrator in residence for Colin's band, The Decemberists, and received Grammy nominations in 2016 and 2018 for her album art design. She's also an occasional maker of editorial illustration, having worked for The New Yorker, The New York Times, and Poetry Magazine, among many others. Carson lives on a farm in Oregon with Colin, their 2 sons, 1 cat, 2 llamas, 2 goats, 1 sheep, 10 chickens, a family of barn owls, and an unfathomable number of tree frogs. Please join me in welcoming Carson Ellis.
Hi, my name's Carson Ellis. I am here in my studio in Oregon on a farm a little south of Portland. I am a 45-year-old red-haired woman sitting at my drawing table talking to you today. I'm going to begin our time together today by reading In the Half Room to you. It's a brand new book that just came out. It's totally new to the world. This is it right here. And without further ado, I'm just going to read it. And then maybe a little later, we can do some drawing together and I can answer any questions that you guys have. So, In the Half Room. This book has a neat cover because you can't tell probably, but this is a window. When I open the book, we get to see the little landscape on the end papers that window is looking out on. And it's a half landscape. There's a half house, a half tree, a half moon. In the Half Room. chair, half hat, two shoes, each half table, half cat, half a rug on half a floor, half a knock on half a door. Knock. Half a face you've seen before. In fact, that is the end. I'll read the dedication. This book is for my son Milo. He gave me the idea for it and cheered me on while I made it, even though he's not sure about the ending. This book is also for my cats, past and present. Couscous, Kip, Alice, China, Albert, Fortinbras, Window, and Mooney. Muses all. And that is in the half room. I thought I would just tell you briefly about where the idea for this book came from. You might be thinking, that was a pretty weird book. What was that book even about? I'm not sure I can answer that question even as its author. I'm still figuring that out myself. But I can tell you where I got the idea from. It has to do with this little book here. So this is a tiny little sketchbook full of stuff. There's a picture of a sauna at some hot springs that I visited. What else is in here? A picture I made when I was backpacking. It's just full of stuff. I do a lot of drawing. One day I was drawing with Milo, who's my kid. He's 7. He was 6 at the time. And a game we like to play is he likes to tell me things to draw. So I'll say, what should I draw? And he'll say, draw a night-night. And I'll say, what's a night-night? And he'll say, well, it's like a knight in shining armor, but it's like of the night. And I say, okay, so I draw it. There it is, the night-night. See how he's a knight? He has a moon for a head. I'll say, what else should I draw? Actually, this isn't hypothetical. This is actually, these are drawings we made together. So he told me to draw the night-night, and then he told me to draw a dragon with a star for a body. And I said, sure, I can draw that. So I drew this. I said, what's next? And he said, I don't really remember what this was about, but then he asked me to draw this. Draw a steropod riding on a rocket yelling, happy chocolate coin day. I don't know what it means. I showed it to him recently. He doesn't remember what it means either. He told me to draw this. So I did. And then he told me to draw a salopicon in some banana rain. Sure. He just tells me to draw the salopicon. I say, what does the salopicon look like? He says he has a very big smile and hair all over his face. There you go. I didn't even need to ask what banana rain looked like. I just knew. And then he said, draw the half room. It's a room and everything in it is half. So it's like half a chair, half a table. And I was like, oh, okay. So I drew the half room. And there's the little drawing I made. And then then he told me to draw the Rapasaur Dorada. So I did. But then I went back to the half room and I thought about it a little bit. And I was like, hey, that's kind of a cool idea. I don't know what that is. I don't know what the half room is, but it's interesting. It's mysterious to me and evocative. And I think it has the germ of a book idea in it. So I thought about it for a really long time. And I slowly started writing a poem about a half room. And while I was writing the poem, I thought about what the pictures would look like. And when I was done thinking about it, I pretty much had the book. That was the idea. It took a long time to kind of write that poem, keep editing it and figuring out how it would make a good book. But that was where the whole idea came from. So I owe Milo a lot because, you know, he gave me the good idea. And I will tell you, kids have the best ideas, especially when it comes to making books for them. So that's the half room. And that's all I'll tell you about it for now. But I'm happy to answer questions about it. Oh, hi. Can you guys see me? Am I like, is everything? Yes, you can see me. That's great. Happy Halloween. This is me actually in real time. That was a video of me. Right now I'm actually live in my studio. I'll move out of this ray of sunlight. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you liked hearing about the half room and reading the half room. There. And I thought maybe we could do a little drawing together. Does anybody out there have art supplies? Anybody have like a paper and a piece of paper and a pen I'm going to draw with? If you do, if you don't, you can just watch me draw. Because I've got my whole setup right here and I'm about to switch to a different camera so you can look down on my drawing paper and watch me do a little painting. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do and you can do it along with me and have, you know, you can do what I'm doing or you can do your own thing. But the basic idea is you understand the half room now. You get that the half room is a room where everything is half. So what I'm going to paint is a haunted half room, like a half room in a haunted house where everything is half and also spooky. So I have some ideas about what I would put in my half room. Maybe you have some ideas about what you would put in your half room. There are so many things that come to mind when I think of a haunted house. I think of trapdoors, I think of cobwebs, I think of skeletons, I think of werewolves, I think of all these things. So let's draw together and draw along with me or come up with your own things. So I'm going to switch my screen, but I'm going to be back soon. And if we have a little time at the end, I'm going to answer some questions. I'm going to try not to draw for too long, so we have time for that. So here's my paper. There's my hand. Here is black and white gouache, water, brushes. I'm wearing my grandmother's fur coat because I'm dressed as the queen of the moon. She wears a fur coat. Okay, so I'm going to start my haunted half room with some dead flowers in half of a cracked vase. So here's a vase. I'm using black and white gouache to paint this. Gouache is a little bit like a, gonna make this real kind of sad and dead. Gouache is kind of like watercolor. If you've used watercolor, you know how watercolor works. It's translucent, so you can see through it, and you use water to water it down. Some cracks in the vase. Down here, oh, you know what? Maybe some spider webs. Coming off this. And how about half a spider? It's going to be kind of hard. So spiders have 8 legs. This guy has 1, 2, 3, 4. And then how about half a cat over here, half a black cat, half of a black Halloween-y cat, oh, he would have his back really arched like this. And his fur would be standing up on end like that. And he'd be yowling probably. How are you guys doing out there? Is anybody drawing along with me? Yes, someone mentioned that gouache rhymes with squash. That is true. How about at the door? Is half a ghost. Let's see. First, we'll do half the floor. I'm going to use my favorite biggest brush. Here we go with half a floor. And you can see with the gouache how, like watercolor or ink, you use water to dilute it. So you can have it be real dark in some places and lighter in others. Here's half a floor. I wonder if there would be half a trap door in half this floor instead of half a rug, probably. But first I'm going to do the half a door up here. Again with my nice big brush. While this is drying, I'm going to put half the table here. I'm going to finish up pretty soon so we can answer questions if anybody has any. There's half a table. Over here, I'm going to come back here and do half a trap door and half a floor. And up here, I'm going to do half a ghost is at the door. Okay. All right, I'm going to finish up. Maybe I'll work on this a little bit while I'm answering questions so I can show you guys at the end. But here's the gist. The haunted half room, half a ghost, half a scared black cat, half a vase with some dead flowers, half a spider and some cobwebs. Now I'm back, it's me. Oh, good, here are some questions. Question 1, what inspired you to start drawing and painting? Well, I don't even remember. I've been doing it always. It's kind of just a thing that's always made me really happy. And as a kid, I love to do it. And as a grown-up, I love it for the same reason. I love kind of disappearing into my own world. And I find it kind of meditative and really calming to draw. It's just my favorite thing. Another question, what advice would you give to someone watching who wants to start writing poems or drawing? Well, the first thing I would say is to just have what we call a practice. So use something you do every single day or just about every single day. Get yourself a sketchbook, get yourself a place to write poems, and just have it be a little part of your daily or even just weekly routine, just something you're always revisiting. The most important part of doing anything creative is to build it into your life in a way that is intentional and to take it kind of seriously. When did I get so good at drawing? That's a nice and flattering question. I don't really know. I remember thinking that I was a pretty good artist when I was a kid, and when I was in middle school, and when I was a teenager, and when I was in college. And when I look back on all that art that I made when I was a kid and a middle schooler and a teenager and a college kid, I don't think it's good anymore. So I think I always thought I was pretty good, and I'm always getting a little better. But there was a long time in my life where I thought I was a pretty good artist, but I couldn't get anyone to like hire me as an illustrator or anything. So the world didn't think I was as good as I thought I was yet. And so sometimes, that's just a matter of keeping going and drawing all the time and working all the time and having your situation catch up to your expectations for yourself. Sometimes it takes a long time. For anybody out there who is an aspiring illustrator, I didn't figure it out until I was almost 30, so it takes a while for some people. When you work on a book, oh look, it's 10:31. I guess I'll answer one more question really quickly and sign off. When I work on a book, do you start with the text or the images? I start with both at the exact same time. It's kind of a concept. I guess like with the half room, it started with that one little sketch. And then I spent a lot of time thinking about the poem. And then I went back to think about the art more. They sort of happen in tandem. They co-emerge. Gosh, this was so fun. I guess I have to say goodbye already because it's 10:30. But it was so fun hanging out with you guys briefly. I hope that some of you drew with me. And I hope everyone's going to have an amazing Halloween. Have a safe Halloween. Wear your mask. Keep your space from other people. And yeah, I don't know if you guys are in costumes. I hope you are. I hope everyone's dressed up. Hope everyone has an amazing day. All right, signing off.